Hi Kingdom Kids volunteers. I'm super excited to make this video for you because we are going to do something just a little bit new for our Christmas time. And I just like having everyone on the same page. I'm not changing it up too much from what we've been doing. So we are still going to keep the same rules. So we will be using our rules card. And I don't know if I explained this to everyone very well, but when I go over the rules with the kids, it's the very first thing I do. I like to have the assistant take attendance for me. And what I want everyone to start getting in the habit of doing, so if you are the assistant teacher for the day and you're taking attendance, I need you to look at every child's tag because we are going to start using the iPad again. And we might be using these stickers. And we've had a lot of new kids show up recently, and there is an area for special concerns or allergies. So we do need to know those things while we're teaching. And the best way to keep track of that is to look at their tag. So while you're taking attendance, check everyone's tag, unless of course you know the child. And they're there every week. But yeah. So yeah, we're using the same rules. We are using the same star chart that goes along with the rules. So for each section, if they are following the rules, they get a star, okay? Oh yeah, so with the rules, what I like to do is I like to take them off. I like to hand it to two people. I say, hey, can you guys come up and share this rule with everybody else and act it out for me? And they love doing it, and then they put it on here, okay? I like to keep this with me. I like to refer back to it if I need to. Sometimes you can take it off and hand it to somebody, like, hey, just want to remind you, raise your hand. Or, hey, I noticed you might need just a quick reminder to have a calm body, okay? So a lot of flexibility and fun. We want to make it fun, okay? Also, I don't want anyone to forget, there is this, it's always in the binder, it's in the back of the binder, it has all of the rules and the policies on it, and I know it's not super fun, but there are some important phone numbers, like in case of an emergency. There should be poison control in here, but I will add that because I don't see it. Also, the evacuation location is on here, so there's that information. I do need to update this, but for now, it should work for us. Okay. That's always going to be in your red binder. We have our attendance sheets. Now, like I said, we are going to be going back to the iPads. It's taking me a little while to get this whole thing set up because there's a lot of hiccups with it. There shouldn't be, but there are. So just bear with me. Maybe one Sunday if we don't have the iPad stickers. I'm working on it. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. Okay. This is kind of new. I've been giving this to the assistant teachers. It's just like a little checklist of stuff for you to do if you feel like you don't know what to do, or if you feel like maybe there's not enough for you to do. Your main job is going to be making sure that the kids stay on top of their star chart, and you are there to reinforce that. So anytime you need to remind a child, hey, yeah, we having a calm body right now because I want to give you that star. And the reason why we're doing the stars is because at the very end, they get to pick a prize. And I'm trying really hard to organize everything in this basket so that it's very clear. It's like, oh, this is exactly where it's at. So at the end, they get to pick a prize. 3 stars, it's labeled, it's this bag. 1 thing. 1 or 2 stars, this bag. Okay? And it's just right here. Have to forgive my video skills. Okay. Okay, so let's get into the Christmas lesson. So you'll get a packet every week like this. This is just, the front page is just for you, just a little notes. Kind of tells you what we're doing. So for Christmas, just so you know, we are going to have a short Christmas lesson in the very beginning. And then after that, our main lesson for Christmas time is we're going to be reading through a children's version of The Pilgrim's Progress. Love this book. I read it to my kids. A lot of fun reading it. It was great for me. It was good for them. Lots of wonderful discussions came from that. So I kind of explain a little bit more if you're even interested. Don't worry if you're not interested in it, as to why I chose to do that during this time. Okay, so in your packet, you're going to start with your intro time, which is, I am liking to have this on the floor. So just come in with the kids, like, hey, let's all sit on the floor. Your assistant is going to be taking attendance. You're going to grab the prayer candles, and they're going to be in here. You'll grab these prayer candles, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to say, hey, Jesus is the light of the world. And we want to remember that this Christmas. And so if you guys have someone that you want to pray for, you're going to light a candle and then you're going to pray for them. All right. They can have other prayer requests, of course, as well. But this is specifically to get them thinking about praying for other people. And then I also have a prayer that you can pray for them, or if you want to make up your own prayer, that's fine too. I just know some people like to have that. And there is a red candle for you guys to light, for the teacher to light. So you'll do that. You'll start off the prayer. You'll be like an example to them of how to pray. And then you guys will all pray together, all right? Then you are going to put the candles away, or the assistant will put them away. And you don't need any supplies for this, but you are going to need your packet, okay? So we're going to move on to the Christmas lesson. So you're going to have everyone stand up. And I like this part because they need a little something with some movement and activity, but it can't be too wild and crazy. So what you're going to do is you're easily just going to read through this. So we're going to add on to our Christmas story every week. So we're starting with Zechariah and Elizabeth and John the Baptist. And so what's going to happen is you'll read what's in the quotation marks, and then you'll say this out loud, but it's actions for them to act out. So I'll show you the first one. So you'll be like, okay, everyone, let's stand up. We're moving into our Christmas lesson now. So Zechariah was a priest who loved God. He was married to Elizabeth. She loved God too. All right, guys, put your hands over your heart to show that you love God also. So it's going to be simple things like that, and it's just going to go boom, boom, boom. It's really quick. And then you're done with your Christmas lesson, okay? So that should give the assistant enough time to clean up the candles. And then what's going to happen is you're going to move everyone to the big stage. We're using the stage area because it gives the kids an opportunity to spread out. Now, I have been making activity bags for each of the kids, but I don't want those to wear out. I don't want to lose the effect of it. So for our Pilgrim's Progress time, there's actually a coloring book that came with this book. So I've made copies for every kid, and on the back is the map also. So you guys can talk about the map of like where you're at after you've read it. And everyone's gonna get a coloring sheet, so the assistant can pass out the coloring sheets, and then everyone's gonna get a pack of crayons, okay? And I would just go ahead and give them a Play-Doh. So we don't need the actual activity bags right now. We're just gonna stick with Play-Doh and crayons, and these pictures are gonna change up week to week, okay? So that's what they're going to do while reading the story, while you're reading the story. And I just put some notes in here for you of like how you should stand, where you could sit. Just make sure you're like visible if you're sitting on the stage. I like to stand on my knees if I'm not using a chair. You can put a chair up on the stage. You just want to be elevated a little bit. It's like they're at your feet. You can stand down below the stage and hold the book so they can see the pictures. The pictures in here are super great. I just love this book. All right. So you're going to say, okay, everyone, time to clean up your crayons. And while you're cleaning up, I have some questions for you about the story. And that's where you're going to pull out whatever Christmas candy I have. So this first week, it's going to be these Christmas lollipops. I don't know if we'll do this again, but it's just kind of based on what I can find as far as affordable Christmas candy. So make sure everyone gets one. Not everyone is going to be able to answer these questions. So you can ask stuff like, what's something you liked about the story? What's something, do you have a question about the story? So long as they say something to you, if they are someone who struggles with even speech or something like that, maybe you can repeat something to them from the story, or ask a yes or no question, and they just have to pick yes or no, okay? And then you give them a piece of candy. They put it with their picture. They put it somewhere close to the exit, and then they come meet you for small group, okay? So they're not eating their candy yet. They can wait. So they join you for small group, and the assistant is going to come help you, and they will pass out a snack. So these are the options that we have for snack right now. As we get closer to Christmas, don't tell them this, but I'm going to make it possible where we have a little thing of hot chocolate. And if that's you who's teaching that time, don't worry, I will prep you, and everything will be simple, and it will be kid friendly and safe, and we will all be happy. We will all be happy. But yeah, they don't need to know they're going to get hot chocolate yet. Or maybe you can tell them if you need some sort of incentive. So you're going to sit in small groups, and they're going to be having their snack. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pass out some Bibles. And I want you to put them in pairs or in threes. And you're going to give the pairs a scripture passage. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little, some note cards. Sorry, close up of my nose there. I'm going to put some note cards in the box so you guys can write down the scripture reference for them, so that it helps them to look it up. And I want them to actually like try looking it up in the Bible. So that's going to be fun. To do that with the kids, because we've never actually done that before. So note cards and pen are in there, and that's what that is for. And then these questions are really gospel focused. So you'll have them read the passage, then you'll ask the question, and you guys get to sit and talk about it. And this is where like you really get a chance to like guide their thoughts and point them to Jesus, and just reiterate, like, so this very first question for this week is, why does sin feel like a burden? And then the last question is, how would you feel if your friends or family made fun of you for believing in Jesus? So we're really getting into these really deep questions about the Lord and about our relationship with him and stuff. And then lastly, so that should be your entire time. And I think that's going to be, sometimes it's too much, and then sometimes it's just not enough. So I always have some extra ideas for you. I have just a couple more things to tell you. So extra time ideas, these can get a little muddy. I think the easiest one for people to do is charades, is just pop them up there and say, hey, act out something from the story. We would love to guess what it is, okay? Or the other easiest one is like, hey, I'm going to assign parts who would like to act out the story. Assign the parts, reread the story as they act it out. And then another kind of fun one is relay race. Now, I'm putting that in here because I need to tell you what happened last week. So the word is getting out about our children's ministry, I guess. Like, kids are coming, and it's really great. And we've had some children with disabilities, and we've had some that are more that need more attention than others. And I wasn't aware that this was going to happen, but God is good, and I was there, and we had lots of people helping, and lots of people who were like just ready to jump in and give their all for this. And I know that there is 1 week that's coming up where I will not be there, so that's Thanksgiving Sunday, the Sunday after Thanksgiving. I won't be there. So if you're teaching on that Sunday, and you have children that come and they have disabilities, or you have children that have needs that you are not able to handle, that's okay. It's okay. Here's what you can do. There are 2 people. I'm not going to mention them on the video because I will text them to you separately when it's your turn to teach. There are 2 people in our congregation, not including me. I could also be a person too, but there's a couple Sundays I won't be there, that are ready and willing to come up with you and be with whoever needs the extra attention. So we had a couple kids who just needed to run around the space in the chapel, but they needed someone to follow them around because they were trying to open doors and things like that, and the chapel is not a classroom space. And so they just needed that. I am working on getting some materials and stuff prepped and ready if these individuals stay with us long term, which I really, really hope that they do, and having like a really solid buddy system. But there's a couple steps I need to take before we get there. So in the meantime, if this happens, also if you are a person who's in there and I'm not available, like let's say I'm in nursery or if I'm not there on a Sunday and this is happening, and you've had to pull someone else in to offer you some support, but it's just going crazy, do some relay races, like get the kids up. And I had to do this. And I know you kind of feel like defeated, but like don't, because God knows that this is going to happen. And I think the most important thing is that we are showing parents that we love them and we love their children, and there is a place for them at church. So I think that is the main goal when something like that happens. So don't feel like you're not doing anything if you have to abandon the lesson and you just have to do a relay race, or you just hang out with the kids and you pray a whole bunch, or you just kind of get to know everybody a little bit more and ask them questions. So do not feel bad. Have an extra snack. You know, take care of yourself. You have a snack too. All right, I did not want to make this video too long. I love you guys. I'm super grateful for you guys. I'm praying for you. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for all that you're doing. Last thing I want to say to you, I know I've told some of you this, I know I've written it down, but I cannot stress this enough. Be yourself when you're with the kids. Just be you, because they want you. They want whoever you are to be present with them. And God is going to work through you no matter what, because he's so good and that's what he does. He doesn't even need us, but for whatever reason, he has chosen to use us. And so that is something you can walk in with confidence, just knowing that you cannot fail, because these are God's children and he loves them more than we love them. And so he's taking care of them. But he's also giving you this opportunity to be a part of his good work. And so enjoy it. Be yourself. Be genuine. The children will believe what you have to say if you are yourself with them. And you can do this. Thank you guys. Praying for you. Take care.